A WNBA player drove her fist into Caitlin Clark's throat. No foul was called, and the league had to suspend her the next day to clean up the mess the referees left on the floor. That happened on June 24, 2026. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you the one number that the ragebait channels are still recycling from last year. A number they're presenting as breaking news that's actually 12 months old. And once you see it, you'll never trust the league is collapsing story again. But let's start with what we can actually prove. On June 24th, the Indiana Fever played the Phoenix Mercury at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. With 6 minutes and 52 seconds left in the second quarter, Clark and Mercury forward Alyssa Thomas were scrambling for a loose ball. During that scramble, Thomas made contact with her fist to Clark's throat. In real time, the officials called nothing. No foul. Play continued. And that no call is the part that matters, because the next day the WNBA's league office reviewed the play, deemed it a non-basketball act, and handed Thomas a flagrant 2 penalty plus a 1-game suspension. They didn't upgrade an existing foul. There was no foul to upgrade. The league looked at a play the referees waved off completely and decided it was serious enough to sit a player down. The flagrant 2 came with a $1,000 fine, and Thomas served her suspension on June 27th when the Mercury played at Toronto. Now, Fever head coach Stephanie White did not hold back afterward. She called the no-call egregious. Her exact word. She said it was absolutely unacceptable, and she pointed out something that should make every fan uncomfortable. That this was the second night in a row the two teams had played, that everyone in that building knew the temperature was already high, and that a hit like that still happened with no whistle. White also noted she'd spent the entire offseason on officiating, that she helped create a league task force on it, and that the one thing she keeps asking for is consistency, her argument being that Clark is not officiated the same way as everyone else. That's the coach of the team saying it on the record. Not a YouTuber. Not a fan account. The head coach. So here's the first open loop I want you to hold on to. If the league is willing to suspend a player for a hit the referees ignored, that tells you the play was bad. But it also tells you the officiating on the floor missed it entirely. Keep both of those in your head, because the gap between what the refs called and what the league decided is the whole story. Let me give you the context the Rage channels skip. This is not the first time this has happened to Clark. Last season, Marina Mabrey, playing for the Connecticut Sun at the time, was given a technical foul in a game against Indiana, and the league later upgraded it to a flagrant 2 after the fact. Same pattern. Something happens on the floor, the on-court call is too light or non-existent, and the league office comes back later and corrects it. When you see that pattern repeat across 2 seasons with different players on different teams, you stop being able to call it a coincidence. You start having to call it a trend. And in the June 24th game itself, the Thomas hit wasn't even the only contested moment. Later in that same second quarter, Clark was fouled while shooting a 3-pointer, fell to the floor, and was seen grabbing her back as she got up. White wanted that one upgraded too. The officials kept it as a common foul. So in a single quarter, you've got one play the league had to escalate to a suspension and another the coach is still arguing about. That's the environment Clark is playing in right now. Here's where it turns, because I promised you receipts, not rage, and that means I have to tell you the part that complicates the clean villain story. Clark left that June 24th game with 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter, with a back issue. And the honest answer is that we cannot prove the Thomas hit caused it. Clark has been dealing with back problems all season. She woke up with back soreness and was a late scratch before a game against the Portland Fire back in May, a situation that actually got the Fever a warning from the league for not listing her on the original injury report. She left the locker room multiple times in the season opener to get her back adjusted. So when a competitor tells you Thomas broke Caitlin Clark's back, that's the rage talking. The throat hit is real and documented. The back injury is real. Linking them as direct cause and effect is not something the evidence supports, and I'm not going to pretend it does just because it would make a better thumbnail. What we can say is this. The Fever ruled Clark out of the June 27th game against the Sparks, and White said there's no indication of how long she'll be out. She framed the upcoming week off as a chance to get Clark treatment and healthy. That's it. No timeline. No drama beyond what's actually on the record. And here's the thing that gets buried under all the injury panic. Clark has been good this season. Not just present. Good. She's averaging 21.2 points per game, which is better than her Rookie of the Year scoring number, and she's putting up a team-high 8.2 assists, second best in the entire league. She's washed, she's always hurt, she can't stay on the floor. Narrative ignores that when she is on the floor, she's producing at a higher level than the season that won her Rookie of the Year. Both things are true. She's been banged up, and she's been excellent. Honest coverage holds both. Now, here's what nobody's telling you, and this is the reveal I opened the video with. Go watch the big WNBA Doom videos right now. The ones screaming that the league is financially collapsing, that viewership has cratered, that the whole empire falls apart without Clark. Watch the numbers they put on screen. You'll hear it over and over. Viewership down 55%. Fever games down 53%. From 1.8 million viewers down to 847,000. Those numbers are real. I want to be completely clear about that, because this channel doesn't make things up. USA Today reported them, citing Nielsen. But here's the part they're hiding from you. Those numbers are from May and June of 2025. That's last year. That 55% drop is measured from Clark's quad injury in May of last season. They are taking a 12-month-old statistic, stripping the date off it, and feeding it to you as if it describes what's happening this week. It doesn't. It never did. And it gets worse for their story. Because when the full 2025 season actually finished and ESPN released the real numbers, not a mid-season panic snapshot, the whole year, the WNBA on ESPN networks averaged 1.3 million viewers. That was up 6% from the year before. It was the most watched WNBA season on the platform in nearly 30 years. Up, not down, a near 30-year high. So the league is collapsing genre is built on a single mid-season window during one injury, presented out of date, while the actual full season number, the one that tells you what really happened, went in the exact opposite direction. They show you the dip and hide the recovery. They show you May and bury September. That's not analysis. That's a magic trick, and the trick only works if you never check the date. That's the one stat I promised you. A 6% year-over-year increase to a near 30-year high, sitting right next to a 55% collapse. That's actually a year old. Both numbers are real. Only one of them is current. And the channels feeding you the scary one are counting on you never looking it up. Here's why this matters beyond just one video. There's a real story here, a genuinely real one, about whether the WNBA is protecting its biggest star. The Thomas suspension is real. The Mabrey upgrade last year is real. The coach of the team is on the record saying the officiating isn't consistent. You don't need to invent a financial apocalypse to make that story land. The truth is already sharp enough. When these channels bolt fake collapse numbers onto a real safety story, they're not making the argument stronger. They're handing every critic an easy reason to dismiss the whole thing. One checkable lie poisons every true thing sitting next to it. So let's keep it clean. What's actually true as of this week? A player got suspended for a throat hit the refs missed. It's the second straight season a foul on Clark had to be fixed after the fact by the league office. The coach is publicly questioning the consistency. Clark is out with a back issue that's been bothering her all year, on no set timeline, while still averaging better than her Rookie of the Year campaign. And the league, despite the doom merchants, is coming off its most-watched season on ESPN in nearly 3 decades. Those are the receipts. All of them check out. None of them need rage to carry them. If you want WNBA coverage that gets the facts right before the take, where every number on screen is one you could look up yourself and confirm, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next breakdown. We do the homework so the story actually holds up.